So we're going to be doing some origami. Now, I know the first thing you're thinking is, why does she have water? You see the origami paper? Well, that's because we're going to make a lotus flower that floats. So we're going to be making a floating lotus flower. Now, the next thing you say is, but it's going to ruin the paper. No, it is not. See, there is something coating it. So it floats on the water. So when you take it home, you will be able to have a floating locust flower as well, and it will not damage the paper. So let's talk about how to do this. So, got a little water on mine, that's okay. We are going to have our paper, and our first step is to take the paper and we're going to fold it so that it makes an X. So that means from this corner to that corner and that one to that one. You have to go slowly. You have to gently work the paper when it comes to origami. You can't rush. You have to make it match. The corners are what you want to match. So you line it up, then you press the sides down. You cannot cheat and try to do this. You have to open it up, turn, and fold for your corners, making sure that they match up. And then fold that down. So now we have an X fold on our paper. The next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to take each corner and we're going to fold it to the center. Again, this is very important for you to go slowly. We want it to meet right in the center where those two lines intersect, so at the axes. So you're going to do this on all four corners. Again, being very careful not to rush. So I have to readjust mine so I don't overlap the paper. It's easier if you turn the paper towards you each time. I am not doing that because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing very easily and not get dizzy as I turn it. So the last one is the most critical because, again, I've got to go slowly and make sure I don't overlap these onto there. In origami, the art of paper folding, if you rush one step, then your next step is not going to be correct, and the next, and the next, and the next. So it's very important for you to slow down. Origami teaches, all right, our other cultures what's called patience. You must be patient and you must trust in your teaching. So now we're going to take our corners and we're going to fold to the center again. So sometimes you have to kind of work the paper, kind of bend it a little bit before you press it down. So I'm going to get that into the center and fold down. Same thing here. Notice I'm kind of working the paper over, going slowly, not rushing it. I check before I press. Always check it before you press it. So if I rush and I pushed it down there, you can see it would not be correct. So I have to check it. So I get it where I think it's going to go, and then I press it down. So I'm on my last one. Again, I have to kind of work to get that paper to bend where I want it to go. And then I've got that pressed down. From there, we've got another fold over to the center. So basically we're doing the same thing over and over, but each time it gets a little more difficult. So this time I have to go a little slower. And again, I have to really work that paper to do the right thing. So it's not about getting done first, it's about getting it done correctly. Again, our ancient cultures learned this. That's how they were able to do these so well. It's all about learning patience. So I'm going to kind of bend the paper over and work it to the center, being careful not to overlap my other edges. Now that I've gotten this done, I'm going to take it and I'm going to flip it over. So I'm on the back now. This side gets flipped over to the center as well. So I'm going to continue to work each corner, working that paper over, massaging it to go where I want it to go, not rushing it, but getting it to where I want it to go without it overlapping the other piece. So I've got one more to do. Sometimes it can be the hardest. Just because I'm doing it like this doesn't mean that your style might be different, and that's okay. So I'm going to get this done. So now I've gotten that done. Now I'm going to take the ends, so just the corners, and I'm going to bend it just a little over. So it's the corners, just the tip is getting bent. And as you can see, it doesn't go all the way to the center. And I'm doing this on each one. All right, now comes the more tricky part. Now what we're gonna do is we're actually going to pull this from the back side, all right, here. So notice how I'm holding this and I'm gently flipping that paper over. So I'm only picking up this part. I'm not trying to peel back all those parts of the paper. So I hold right here, carefully work it to flip it that way. Hold my finger there, flip it up. Hold my finger here, flip it up. If it tears a little bit, it's all right. No big deal. So I've got that first part done. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this part at the back. Oh, I forgot which one I was on. That might happen to you. So you just kind of go through and do each of those. So you might ask, I want these to flip even more. So you can see how that one is. So what you would do after you've gotten all these flipped, you come back and you push that tab a little bit more in. So you can see I'm working it back. So again, my finger is helping to pull that paper back and over. And so that gives it more of a scoop look. And then you can do kind of the same thing with these. Pull them a little bit more forward. So again, you don't want to rush. You want to take your time. I'm going to come around, I'm going to help. All right, so this little tab then can come up as well. So basically we're peeling back all the parts of the paper. You hear it broke. It's okay, it's not a big deal. Then after we get that done, you're going to be bringing it over to me, and I'm going to be putting it in something. I'm going to show you that in just a second. So you can see this container here has something in it. It is wax. This is hot, it's heating up, and you can see, you can actually watch how it is melting right now. You will bring me your lotus flower, and what I'm going to do is dip it. So I am doing this, not you. So it's me. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to dip it gently in it so it coats the bottom of your lotus flower. It takes a second for it to dry. I will shake off any extra that there is. And once it is dry, the great thing is that it is waterproof. So it's immediate we can test it and see that it is done and the water doesn't penetrate it. So now when you take it home, you will be able to have a floating lotus flower of your own. So let's get going.